Song with from 99.9, and it's now 15 minutes after the hour of 12 p.m. At this time, we present to you our midday news, coming to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
99.9, the heart and soul of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We FM is SVG.
Good afternoon and welcome to VFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Experience Carnival with Quartz Ready Cash. Enter to win $10,000 cash when you take a loan for $3,000 or more. Get the cash to purchase event tickets and costumes. All you need to apply is your ID, payslip, recent job letter, proof of address, and 2 references. No security required. Flexible payment terms, quick approval, and hassle-free. Visit us in store or apply online at www.quartz.com. Quartz Ready Cash. Ready when you are. Promotion ends June 30th, 2025. Normal criteria and special conditions apply.
Welcome back to VFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. First, on the local scene, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will on Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, hold memorial events in the Southern Grenadines. The Burial Memorial event and ferry terminal opening in Canawan will be held at the ferry terminal from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. They will then journey to Mairo, where the Burial Memorial event and ferry terminal opening will be held at the ferry terminal from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. The final Burial Memorial event will be held on Union Island at the Hugh Mulzac Square from 2:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Activities will include prayers, praise and worship, reflections, honoring of local heroes, laying of wreaths, unveiling of memorial wall, and cultural performances. Minister of Housing Honorable Dr. Orlando Brewster said in Parliament yesterday that 21 housing lots have been identified on Union Island to aid persons displaced by Hurricane Beryl. Minister Brewster said, while progress has been made to date, challenges are still being addressed in the Southern Grenadines. He confirmed that funding was allocated in his supplementary budget following Hurricane Beryl for both the purchase of lands and prefabricated homes. But while efforts have advanced across several islands, Union Island remains the most challenging location in terms of land availability and housing recovery. He noted that surveying and planning for these lots are currently underway and expected to be completed within 2 weeks, after which the lands will be handed over to the Ministry of Housing for Development, while the first shipment of prefabricated homes sourced from Trinidad is scheduled to arrive this week, with the Southern Grenadines prioritized in the distribution. Minister Brewster also provided context on the shelter situation, noting that only 151 individuals remain in public shelters nationwide. However, he clarified that this number does not include persons being temporarily housed in tourism-based accommodations such as guest houses. Minister Brewster stressed that while the recovery process is complex and cannot be completed overnight, significant strides have been made. Still on the local scene, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Honorable Saberto Caesar has announced that plans are underway for the rehabilitation of the Owia and the Chateaubelair fisheries centers. Speaking in Parliament yesterday, Minister Caesar noted that these centers suffered extensive damage from the April 2021 Lac Frere volcanic eruptions and the passage of Hurricane Beryl in July 2024. He said these events significantly impacted infrastructure in the red zones and must be understood within the broader context of climate change and what engineering, the contracted consultancy firm for the rehabilitation of both facilities. These are currently under review by the Economic Planning Division and Ministry of Finance. Once a no objection is secured from the World Bank, the procurement process for contractors will begin. The implementation phase is scheduled to begin at the end of 2025, with the completion targeted by December 2026. CESA also addressed the temporary reactivation of the OEA facility through a public-private partnership aimed at supporting limited fish processing activities. However, he noted that these operations would be paused to accommodate major rehabilitation works once they begin. On to news in the region. Bahamian police are investigating a fatal shooting that occurred on Sunday evening in the Bamboo Tongue area, leaving one man dead. According to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, officers were called to a residence on Taylor Drive shortly after 7 p.m. on June 22nd. Upon arrival, they discovered an unresponsive adult male suffering from apparent gunshot wounds. Emergency medical services were summoned to the scene where the victim was pronounced dead. Preliminary reports indicate that a group of persons were gathered outside the home when a man on a motorcycle approached them. The suspect reportedly brandished a firearm and opened fire on the group before fleeing the scene on the motorcycle. Authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward as police investigations continue. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt has told Dominicans there is no need or cause for panic as he addressed concerns over reports of a potential U.S. visa ban on Dominicans. Earlier this month, reports of an additional 36 countries, including 4 Eastern Caribbean nations, to be banned from entering the U.S. have been cause for concern among the small nations. St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, and Dominica were the 4 Eastern Caribbean countries on the list of a leaked document from the Trump administration. Skerritt, at a press conference on Monday morning, said, "There is no need to be concerned over the reports." While no official communication has been received from the U.S. authorities, the Prime Minister said the government was proactively engaging with relevant parties to ascertain the facts and address any issues diplomatically. The Dominican leader highlighted concerns raised by the United States, including illegal migration and aspects of Dominica's Citizenship by Investment (CBI) program. He urged citizens to respect the U.S. immigration rules, avoid overstaying their visas, and advise those undocumented to seek assistance from U.S. authorities to return home. On the international scene, Thailand has imposed restrictions on all travelers headed into Cambodia as the two countries remain locked in a bitter border dispute. The ban applies to any vehicle or person trying to cross into Cambodia from checkpoints across several Thai provinces, as well as foreign tourists flying into Siem Reap. The military said in a statement on Monday that the new restrictions matched the current security situation. Bilateral relations between the two countries are at their worst in more than a decade after armed clashes along the border in May left one Cambodian soldier dead. Since then, the two countries have imposed punitive measures on each other. Cambodia has banned imports from Thailand, ranging from fruit and vegetables to electricity and internet, as well as Thai dramas and films. Exemptions to the latest travel ban may be granted on humanitarian grounds, such as for students or medical points, Thai authorities said. According to the military, the restrictions would also help to counter illegal scam operations in Cambodia. Tensions between both countries date back more than a century when the borders were drawn after the French occupation of Cambodia. Finally, in sports, 4 athletes have been selected by Team Athletics SVG to represent St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the upcoming North American, Central American, and Caribbean NACAC Under 13 and Under 15 Championships to be held in Managua, Nicaragua. The athletes were selected after winning their respective age groups at the National Juvenile Championship held on April 11th and 12th. The under 13 athletes are Nyla Stevenson and Christian Duncan, while the under 15 athletes are Ariel Stevens and Kenroy Hepburn. The delegation, which includes Chester Morgan as coach and Kalisha York as manager, is set to leave the state on July 3rd and return on July 7th. This has been VFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Shanika Silperton. Join us again at 3 o'clock for VFM's 3 p.m. news. VFM's Midday News came to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Get ready! Quartz is having a massive 7-day sale from Monday 23rd to Monday June 30. Buy one, get one free. Purchase any item $1,299 and over and get a free gift from our exclusive list. And our specials get even sweeter on the weekends. Spin the wheel and win fantastic prizes. So hurry, don't miss out. Deals this hot won't last long. Visit us in store June 23rd to 30th. Quartz.